Welcome to the place where it all began. For 35 years, Binion's Casino in downtown Las Vegas has hosted the greatest poker tournament on the planet, and tonight the tradition continues. The last 27 players have traveled to Fremont Street, where they hope to move closer to becoming poker's world champion. An impressive group of new faces have forged their way to the top, but there's still a few of poker's best standing in their way.
This is the biggest poker tournament of my life. This is it. And anything less than a win, I'm not going to be very happy.
And one man seeks an even loftier achievement. Greg Raymer playing to become the first back-to-back main event champion since Johnny Chan.
I'm really happy with my game. I'm very, very happy with the decisions I'm making. And things have been going my way.
The final 27 players closing in on $7.5 million. Welcome to the main event of the World Series of Poker presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. And welcome back to Binion's Casino. You can almost feel the tradition here as we begin another session of the world's greatest poker tournament.
We're here live at the World Series of Poker. 27 players left. That's right, 27 players. Can we move in here? No. Can we breathe in here? No. But can we get chips in here? Yes.
Collecting chips is the name of the game as we play down to the final two tables.
Hello, everybody. I'm Lon McCarron alongside Norman Chad. The hugeness of the Rio has been replaced by the historic and friendly confines of Binion's. 27 people are now tantalizingly close to the ultimate prize in poker, including 3 of the biggest names in the game.
Mike Matusow was in jail earlier this year, now poised for the world title he's always craved. At age 28, Phil Ivey is the youngest to win 5 World Series bracelets, and a title here would cement his status as the game's best. And then there's Greg Raymer, inconceivably trying to double up on his poker immortality by beating the largest field in history for a second straight year.
We do have 2 outer tables, 1 featured table. As we look at our degree chip count, this should be a lot of fun. 3 of the big guns, Matusow, Ivey, Raymer in the top 5.
This main event started out with Raymer seeking respect. This is beyond respectable for him. It's just remarkable.
Greg Raymer is at our featured table trying to go back-to-back. On the Milwaukee's Best Light pocket cam, Raymer looks at Jack 8 offsuit and says, nope, won't play here. Action now on the very powerful Phil. Ivey second in chips right now in this room. King 5 of hearts.
He told us with this many chips, he thinks he's pretty dangerous. If he thinks he's dangerous, get out of the way. And with his chip count right now, who would bet against Phil Ivey at this point?
Ivey raises $120,000, and basically, Norman, we've got a 27-person tournament here today. Ivey second in chips. He's got to be everyone's favorite. Now on Andrew Black, born in Belfast.
Raise.
Ace deuce suited. He says raise.
More.
How much more?
300.
300,000 more.
And you can just sense the different attitude here than we had at the Rio, down to 27 players. There's more tension, people more concerned about becoming millionaires.
Everyone who makes the final table will earn at least $1 million. Now Ivey comes back over the top. He re-raises $500,000 more.
Lon, I thought Ivey might just sit back today and watch the others cut each other's legs out. Instead, he's announcing his presence at the table.
Action on Andrew Black now. Ivey with a big bluff.
And Black, one of the more experienced players at this table.
All in.
Oh, and he pushes right back. He pushes everything in.
Well, Black says, you want power poker? I've got power poker, and he makes Ivey lay it down.
And then he shows Ivey his ace deuce. And Phil Ivey lost a lot of chips to a very aggressive Andrew Black right there.
Go Irish!
Nice play.
Black finished 14th in the main event in '97, and he tells Ivey right there, you want to bully me? Well, I can bully too.
Well, Phil Ivey tried to send a message to this featured table, but in the end, it was Andrew Black who sent the message. Now to the outer tables, our chip leader, Mike Matusow, involved in a hand right now up against Michael Kessler. Action, though, is on Shawn Sheikhan, known as Shawn or Sheik. He's a very volatile player. We saw him mix it up with Tiffany Williamson in a previous session.
Matusow and the Sheik, not kindred spirits.
You calling if I raise, Mike?
No, I'm just gonna phone.
These guys are like oil and water. Sheik has only about 275,000 chips left, and he will get out of the hand. So Matusow and Kessler now. Kessler, an amateur player from Virginia in his first World Series. Now the flop is 9-8 ace. Oh, Sheik's not happy.
Oh, he pounds the table. That's inappropriate. He's indicating that he would have gotten part of that flop. That's giving information to the other players you should not give.
You know, we're in a hand. You need to shut the up.
Uh-oh.
What did you say, Mike?
Mike.
What did you say, Mike? Did you say something?
Hi, guys.
Did you say something, to Mike? Oh, you don't get a penalty for that?
What happened?
You didn't hear what he just said?
We're in the middle of a hand. He's talking about what he has in his
You didn't hear
hand
what
to
he just
everybody.
said? I'm asking a question, Jack. Did you hear what he just said to me?
No, I did not.
Right or wrong?
What was just said?
He said, I'm in the middle of a hand. You need to shut the up. Quote unquote.
Okay, is that what was said?
Tournament official Jack Effel refereeing.
We're gonna play the remainder of this hand, and I'm gonna explain to you what's gonna happen here.
So we'll all have to wait for Jack Effel's decision.
I feel sorry for Michael Kessler in between these two.
Now Kessler's focused enough to throw a raise at Matusow.
I'm all in.
And Matusow comes over the top. Enough to put Kessler all in.
That's a good bet. You win.
And Kessler gets out of the way. I don't want any part of this. So Matusow wins the pot.
You're an idiot.
You cannot talk about a hand in between a hand. We're playing for a lot of money. You jumped off your chair like you threw away part of the pot.
Guys, listen. We're not going to start the tournament out this way. And first of all, when the flop came, you slammed the table.
Sure
then
did.
both of you guys got into it. So guess what? Right now, both of you guys are on a 10-minute penalty.
And if you're
Away from the
all in
table.
at the goal.
Both of you guys on the rail for 10 minutes. And listen, if I hear a word from either one, it's going to be 20. So the best thing you guys can do is go out on the rail for 10 minutes.
So Effel issues a timeout to each antagonist, and Matusow goes over to friend and fellow pro Phil Gordon for counseling.
Welcome to the World Series of Angry Poker Main Event.
Fireworks come early to downtown Vegas, and Shawn Sheikhan is running short of firepower.
The 2005 World Series of Poker is presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, brewed for a man's taste, Miller Brewing Company, and in part by New Degree for Men. With twice the protection you need, it won't let you down. Levitra. Ask your doctor about it today. Levitra, when it counts. And Harrah's Entertainment, home of the world's richest poker tournament. The World Series of Poker presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Main Event.
Back at Binion's and on the rail still Mike Matusow, Shawn Sheikhan serving out their misconduct penalties.
The fighters have been sent to their respective corners, and I think Jack Effel made the correct ruling here. It was within his jurisdiction, and he sent both of them a message.
That's how I do it.
If I hear another word out of you, it's going to be 20. Period. No more said. One more word out of it, 20 minutes. And I can go up from there.
During this penalty time, play does continue on that outer table.
I'm only playing for $7.5 million, and he slams the table and tells everybody what I have. Back in. Back to work.
Well, the Sheik did slam the table. He didn't tell everybody what the mouth had, so the mouth is half right.
The mouth won the hand, too. All right, so Shawn Sheikhan, Mike Matusow will go back to the same table, the outer table, as we swing back now to our feature table. And our first player has been eliminated. It is Claire Hildebrand, who will go out in 22nd place, knocked out by Tim Fan. First blood drawn today by Tim Fan as he adds some more chips to his stack, and we're down to 26. So now the average chip stack in the room is at 2,161,000. Aaron Cantor folds over to Phil Ivey, who has now 3.7 million chips. Ace-8 offsuit for Ivey. And he's going to raise it again to 130,000. Action on Joseph Hashem from Australia. King-Jack offsuit. And he makes the call. Andrew Black now. King-Queen of clubs. He just took over 900,000 chips from Ivey a moment ago. And he kicks him in. Wow.
That's a pretty strong hand. We saw Black get aggressive with ace-deuce before, but he likes to mix it up a bit.
Saw Raymer fold, and now Ivey and Hashem to the flop. It comes Jack, Jack, 6, trip jacks for Hashem.
And Phil Ivey all but drawing dead already.
Ivey first to act, he checks. Hashem with a 150,000 chip bet.
And he acted quite quickly. So Phil Ivey's thinking, you know, this guy is either very strong or very weak.
Pretty modest bet at this stage of the tournament. Ivey now, he pushes 10 bays, chips in, that's worth 500,000.
A misread from Phil. He's decided he can muscle Hashem out of this hand.
I'm all in.
Woo! No muscling there.
Wow, you usually don't see Phil Ivey's neck jerk like that.
3 mil.
Yes, how much it is. Hashem's got about 3 million in the stack left.
Well, Phil is not going to be able to call this line, and that's now twice he's been caught bluffing, and he's lost more than a quarter of his chips, and he hasn't even gone past the flop.
Ivey gives it up. He's got a major leak in his chip stack. Hashem's Australian contingent with their patented down under chant.
And I don't think Ivey ever heard that little ditty growing up in New Jersey.
Hashem continues his impressive play. He's a World Series rookie, but not new to poker. This is a challenge he's been looking forward to a long, long time.
I love poker, man. I've been playing for 10 years. I was a chiropractor for 13 years. I had to give up chiropractic 4 years ago. My hands started playing up and I couldn't continue. And I decided that I'd take poker very seriously then. It's my first chance at playing at the World Series. Come on, baby. I've got a family, and the kids have been, well, up until this year, too young for me to leave. My wife this year decided to say to me, honey, your friends are going, go for 2 weeks. It's your time.
Come on, Hash.
I'll hold the fort whilst you're gone. The kids are okay now, and who knows when you'll be able to go again. So being the male that I am, as soon as she said that, 2 days later I booked my ticket so she can't renege.
After Hashem quit being a chiropractor, his wife told him he could play poker, but he'd have to have a full-time job. So now he is a mortgage broker, or at least pretends to be one.
All right, let's go back to the outer tables where our favorite duo is at it again. Shawn Sheikhan is all in with his pocket queen. Mike Matusow deciding whether or not to call him down with 7 deuce offsuit.
I think you're in trouble, Sheiky.
Well, Matusow does make the call.
And Matusow taking a perverse pleasure in calling down the Sheiks all in with the worst starting hand in Hold'em. Just a small portion of Matusow's monster stack.
He started the day with over 5 million. The flop now is Zippo for Matusow, ace-5.
Well, the Mouse will need running cards now to take out the Sheik. It's not going to happen on this hand, it looks like.
It's an 8, and the Sheik does win it. Matusow throwing 10 to the river. And the Shawn small victory, but it's a place to start.
Just twice I had the 7 deuce in this World Series. I just never went with that hand. I thought it was supposed to be a good hand.
You just feel the love between these two.
I've been reading that Phil Hellmuth's book of how to play poker. I think that's the wrong book to read. I heard that was a good book.
Back at Binion's in the World Series of Poker, the main event has brought an impressive new crop of poker talent, including Tiffany Williamson, the only woman left in the field, outlasting some other top women pros such as Jen Harmon and Cindy Violette. There is Steve Ganneman, another fresh face here. His carefree approach to the game has really helped him succeed at the main event, and it's been a lot of fun to watch as well. Professional singer and World Series rookie Tom Sartori is in a hand right now at one of the outer tables. He's brought his parents into town, Tom and Jeannie, rooting him on. Tom is in a hand right now against another up-and-comer, Bernard Lee from Massachusetts, who carries around pictures of his wife and 2 kids for good luck. Sartori has put a bet to Bernard Lee.
It's too early. It's too early. They like you.
Lee will fold.
I like you.
Well, these guys don't use the Sheik and the mouth as their role models on relationships.
So Bernard Lee decides a little too early to move that many chips into the pot. Let's get back to our featured table where Phil Ivey has been pushing a lot of chips into the pot lately and losing most of them. Hole cards of 7-4 offsuit. Wisely gives them up. Joseph Hashem folds as well over to Andrew Black. Pocket tens.
Raise.
Calls for a raise. 150,000 total to Greg Raymer with Queen Jack offsuit.
400.
Fossil Man's going to re-raise to 400,000. Rest of the table gets out of the way. Black with a quick call.
And who knew a year ago, Lon, that this would become such a familiar sight in poker? The pose of Fossil Man.
The flop 5-3 king. No real help to Raymer.
Check.
Black keeps his advantage and checks.
5.
500,000 chips from our defending champion.
Raymer typically aggressive, and he's representing that he has at least a king in his hand.
All in.
Oh, wow. Black all in again.
Wow.
1,000,009. 2 million a bit.
Well, first with Phil Ivey and now with Raymer. Andrew Black again has said, believe it or not, the buck stops here.
Playing this hand very unusual for you. I've never seen you act so fast.
Early on, we have seen Black mix it up.
Maybe I should have gone all in first.
Well, it's like my father taught me, the old Bronx school of driving. Always make the other guy break. In no limit, you always want to put the other guy to a test. So if Fossil Man had moved all in, maybe Andrew Black would have folded his 10s for all his chips.
So far, I'm getting some bad flops.
And Fossil Man gives it up. And Black turns over his 10s.
Is that ahead? You're ahead now.
So two of our early chip leaders losing ground here at Binion's. First Ivey and now Raymer backstepping at the hands of Andrew Black. Back over to our outer tables, and the odd couple hooked up again. Shawn Sheikhan is all in with almost 500,000 chips. Mattis out of whack.
Don't touch my money, Mike. Shut up.
Mattis out trying to figure if it's worth his time.
Shawn, do you want action?
Come on, Mike.
Do you want action, Shawn? Cheeky.
Verbal antagonism, not uncommon in poker.
Hello.
The mouth raises it to an art
Hello,
form.
Sheiky. Hello. You want action? Just tell me. I'll call you if you say I want action. I'll fold if you say I don't want action. What do you want?
What do you think I want, Mike?
I don't think you want action. But you know what? I'm gonna leave it up to you. So, do you want action or not?
If I say yes, you call?
Yep.
I want action.
Okay, I'll fold.
That's how folds.
Coming to ABC this fall, the Sheik and the Mouth. Two roommates get on each other's nerves.
You're just lucky I like you.
Well, I don't like you, bro.
Well, good.
The Toyota Points Leader is brought to you by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward.
As we take a look at our Toyota Player of the Year standings, he is long gone but not forgotten. Number 1, Alan Cunningham leads the list, but he could be overtaken by one of two players. If Min Lai wins this tournament, he'll be Player of the Year, and he's capable. He finished 9th in 2002's main event. Or Phil Ivey could be the Toyota Player of the Year if he finishes 3rd or better here at Binion's. Back now to our feature table. The blinds at 20 and 40,000. Defending champion, Fossil Man, Greg Raymer with pocket kings. Raymer with about 4 million chips, twice the average stack right now, and he will bet 100,000. Over to Aaron Cantor, 27-year-old amateur from Elk Grove, California, near Sacramento. Queen Jack of Hearts. He makes the call. Ivey says no thanks. Joseph Hashem folds. So it'll be Raymer and Cantor to the flop. Raymer with a big lead with his kings. And the flop comes 6-3-5 rainbow. Raymer's kings are still good. He bets 150,000 to Cantor.
Cantor got absolutely nothing in that flop he can like. But he's going to be in. Lon, you call flops like that long enough, eventually you're living under the bridge.
7 of hearts. Cantor with a heart draw. But still trails. Raymer now to act again. It's 300,000 now to Aaron Cantor. Mostly an online player.
500? 300.
And online, they actually write out how much the bet is, so he had to ask.
Cantor here only on a draw.
And Cantor raises 600,000 more. Take that, world champ.
All in.
Raymer's all in.
Oh.
And Canner makes the call. Wow.
Lon, I cannot believe Aaron Canner's chips are all in the middle on this hand.
Wow.
A $3.5 million chip pot.
Oh, let's not get unlucky here, please.
If Raymer were to get unlucky, this would cost him most of his chips. They would split a pot if a 4 came on the river. They both have a straight. Otherwise, Aaron Canner needs a heart on the river or he's going home.
And, it's a heart! Aaron Canner gets the flash on the river.
Push.
The guppy just swallowed the shark.
Oh my goodness. Canner was chasing the whole way, and he just delivered a huge blow to the defending world champion.
Wow, you are my new hero.
Score one, big one for the new kid on the block.
You tried to give it to me, but
yeah, I did my
tried
best.
to give it to me.
That's the nature of the event these days, Lon. Aaron Canner, behind every step of the way, makes a horrendous play for all his chips, and he takes the defending champion to the brink of being out of here.
Raymer now with only 400,000 chips and change, and the World Championship bracelet sagging a bit now. Let's go over to one of our outer tables where Shawn Sheikhan always seems to have all his chips in the pot. He has bet enough to put Tom Sartori all in, and Sartori makes the call. His tournament life on the line with pocket 7 against the ace-king of Shawn Sheikhan.
Sartori, the musician, the better part of this coin flip right now, a slight favorite.
Sartori, one of the wide-eyed newcomers here to the World Series. The flop is Queen, Jack, King, Sheikhan, his king, and that just about spells the end for Sartori.
Sartori's best hope right now would be to find a 7 in this deck.
Tom's parents looking on anxiously as we go to the turn.
Come on, the great one.
The turn is at 9 and diamonds, no help to Sartori.
And Sartori now is down to his final shot. He needs a 7 and a 7 alone, or his main event will be over.
And Sheikhan gets much stronger if he wins it, and it is a 6. Shawn Sheikhan wins the hand, the pair of kings. Tom Sartori eliminated. Our 26th place finisher, Tom Sartori, $304,000.
Tom Sartori is going to become our 26th place finisher. Ladies and
What an amazing run from this World Series rookie Tom Sartori.
Proud of you,
The World Series of Poker presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, the main event.
Back inside Binion's here on the degree chip count. Our top 5, Matusow and Hashem lead the way. And the bottom 5, wow, look at that. 24th, Greg Raymer, who was in the top 5 as we began the day. One of our low stacks also was Bernard Lee, but he's got aces, and he is all in looking to double up against Shawn Sheikhan's pocket queens.
Sheikhan has not called yet.
He fakes it.
Bernie.
From the Mike Matusow School of Getting Information, Shawn Sheikhan trying to figure out exactly what Bernie Lee has. Bernie Lee, a Boston area marketing manager, doing his best to ignore the Sheik.
1 minute clock starting right now. At the end of 1 minute, there'll be a 10-second countdown.
All right, so the clock got put on Sheikhan. He calls. Bernie flips over his aces.
And Bernard Lee's tournament life at stake, but he is stoked with his pocket aces. Great chance to double up.
As usual, Bernie kissing that good luck picture of his kids. It's worked so far. And today in the crowd, his dad Jung Lee in the middle and his brother Ken there on the right.
Well, they should have checked with each other before they got dressed this morning.
Now the flop. 9, Jack, Jack. Lee's aces still holding.
No threat from Bernard Lee. Still trying to dodge a queen from Sheikhan.
Sheikhan has been successful in these situations so far today. Now the turn card is a 3 of hearts. That means nothing to Sheikhan.
Sheikhan loses any opportunity for a straight or a flush. He still has a chance to knock Bernie Lee out of here with a queen on the river.
It's a deuce! He always let you know where he stands. Bernie Lee takes the pot with his aces and doubles up through Sheikhan.
The mouse apparently had a rooting interest in that hand.
He loves to see any chips move away from Shawn Sheikhan. Bernie Lee may not be the picture of poker face calm, but his play has been impressive here at the main event so far. His love affair with the game actually began a long time ago.
My father and his friends and his brothers loved playing cards. And as a young, impressionable boy, that was something I wanted to be. I don't know what it was. It was the camaraderie. It was them yelling at each other, them talking about it, and I thought it was just so great. I wanted to be one of the guys, I guess, and I wanted to be like my dad and my uncles, and I played once with them, and I realized they really weren't that good.
Well, since that first hand, Bernie has worked extremely hard to take his poker game to the next level.
Every tournament, I'll take notes on every single hand, and to me, that's the best preparation for a tournament. I got a little pocket pair. I just don't know if he's trying to pinch it or not. It's always been in my life that if you work hard, and my father instilled that in me, if you work hard, good things will happen. And I've told my wife all the time, I need 1 week to be strung together, and I think it's happening right now.
Well, Bernard Lee's father now watching good things happen to Bernie. To the next round. But I'll tell you all the same thing I told Bernie. If you're going to take notes on every single hand, get a notebook, son. He's down to cocktail napkins.
It is pretty darn messy, isn't it? All right, let's go back now to our featured table where we see our defending champion, Fossil Man Greg Raymer, running out of chips, a rare sight indeed.
Barely 400,000 left. At the beginning of the day, Fossil Man was 5th on the chip chart with 3.8 million.
Tim Fan folds, as does Aaron Cantor. Now to Ihan Alsenjak from Gothenburg, Sweden, a pro player.
He's a pro.
He has pocket fives. Actually finished 71st in the 2004 main event. Action folds around the table to Greg Raymer. Raymer with a 9 and an ace offsuit in the big blind. It's a 200,000 chip raise to Raymer. And Raymer makes the call.
And he's now committed about half his remaining chips to this pot.
Alsenjak with the lead with his pocket fives to the flop. It comes out King, King, 7.
All in.
And now Greg Raymer with only ace high moves all in.
And Fossil Man committed to this pot will make his stand. Meanwhile, Alsenjak knows that if Raymer doesn't have a king in his hand, his pocket fives are probably good. Fossil Man could be in big trouble here.
How much is it?
210,000.
With pocket fives, it's not automatic for Alsenjak. He does not have that many more chips than Raymer.
Well, this is good news. You don't have pocket kings, right? You wouldn't slow roll me with four of a kind, right?
No.
Okay. Don't worry.
Raymer would like to talk him off this hand.
Oh, but Alsenjak makes the call, and this is our degree all-in moment with our defending champion, Greg Raymer's tournament life at stake.
This could be it for Greg Raymer.
It's not bad. I got 9 outs. Yeah. Twice. 9 outs twice isn't bad at all.
7.
Fossil Man trying to put the best possible spin he can on it. But, you know, he would have started today with visions of making the final table. And now he is on the edge. He's on the edge because he's still reeling from that unspeakable hurt Aaron Cantor put on him.
So Ihan Alsenjak has the advantage on Raymer going to the turn. It's another king, and the defending champion is running out of opportunities.
If a 7 comes on the river, they would split the pot with identical full houses. Otherwise, for Raymer, he will need a king, 9, or ace, or his remarkable run as defending champion is over.
And now the river card. It's a deuce. Ihan Alsenjak earns the degree checkmark and has eliminated the 2004 main event champion Greg Raymer in 25th place. And a standing ovation from the crowd here at Binion's, including his past nemesis Mike Matusow. It was a much tougher path to the final table here in 2005, but Fossil Man outlasted almost 5,600 players before being done in by Ihan Alsenjak. But it was the big loss at the hands of Aaron Cantor a few hands back that led to the demise of Greg Raymer. He gave us a thrill here in 2005. Congratulations, Greg Raymer.
Brought to you by New Degree for Men. For men who take risks, it won't let you down.
Back to Binion, where Greg Raymer has been eliminated for
hope I'm going the right way.
And then we had Dan Harrington's back-to-back final tables in 03 and 04. And then last year, Raymer beats the largest field in history, and this year comes out 25th against 5,600 others. Oh, and you get a hug from, I don't think he knows her.
That's the kind of guy Greg Raymer is. And amateur Steve Danneman will take Raymer's seat here at the featured table. Phil Ivey's been pretty quiet since absorbing a couple of big hits to his chip stack early on. He folds his king 6. Hashem folds as well over to Andrew Black on the Milwaukee's best light pocket cam. Ace, queen of hearts says raise. He makes it 200,000. Danneman folds over to Tim Fan. Pocket 10s.
I'm all in.
And with about 1.5 million chips, he's all in.
Okay, cool.
And Andrew Black wastes little time in calling Tim Fan, who was once our chip leader in this tournament. Now he's all in.
I had the other 2 10s.
And Ivey's still trying to bluff.
That's brutal.
Phil Ivey with some creative non-violence there. He did not have the other 2 10s.
So about a coin flip between Black and Fan. And now the flop. Ace 10, 9, Fan gets another 10. And he is sitting pretty now with a set of 10s.
Things really going bad for Ivey today. He can't even fib without getting caught.
You lied, Phil. You didn't have both the other 10s.
Ace in the door.
They can't stop lying.
All right, so Black in a world of hurt as we go to the turn. Turn is a queen. He pairs his queen, but he needs another one.
But you know, Lon, the moment you exhale in this game, you've got to hold your breath again. Tim Fan now has to avoid an ace or a queen. If Andrew Black gets an ace or a queen on the river, Tim Fan is going home.
All right, now the river card. Oh, it's a queen!
What a queen!
Oh, no! Tough beat for Tim Fan. Andrew Black got the 2 most improbable cards on the turn of the river and knocks Tim Fan out of the main event.
Black celebrates, then he commiserates with Tim Fan.
24th place, almost $305,000 for the affable Tim Fan. What a way to go out. What a way to stay in.
I don't believe it.
Andrew Black's been making some great reads at this featured table and getting some good luck. This worldly player knows firsthand, though, the ups and downs that the poker life can dish out.
Poker is a really, really, really tough business. When I got knocked out of the World Series in '97, the first time I played in it, Stu Younger basically crippled me in that the year he won it.
He shows ace queen.
I wasn't emotionally stable enough to deal with the massive down, which is getting knocked out of the World Series. You know, I was a bit of a mess, basically. I'd been drinking a lot, doing a lot of soft drugs. I couldn't handle the fact that I'd played really badly. That was my kind of rock bottom. I ended up leaving poker for 5 years and I kind of stumbled into a meditation class. I started improving myself and living in Buddhist communities. I realized I was a Buddhist. I did a lot of work on myself and I came out the other end a much happier, more balanced person. Let's keep it exciting. I think the difference is now I don't see poker as the be-all and end-all. To me, it's just part of life's journey.
If we're playing word association, Lon, and you say Buddhism, I don't think of poker. But Black credits the teachings of Buddhism for helping him to look inward and control his emotions, thereby making him a better poker player.
Well, we have seen him play the role of peacekeeper here at the main event. Phil Ivey, second in chips at the start of the day, continues to be a spectator. Over to Joseph Hashem, ace-king of diamonds. And a raise to 160,000. Andrew Black folds. Over to Steve Danneman, recently joined this featured table, pocket 9s.
Still wearing the same shirt since day one.
Nice card protector, though.
Call.
Like that one. And he makes the call.
You know, and even though that globe is small, on it has every nation in the world on it.
Even Kazakhstan?
Yeah, even that place.
So Hashem and Danneman to the flop. Danneman with a slight lead with a pair of 9s. Whoa, and now a set of 9s for Danneman.
Hashem has picked up the nut flush draw, however.
First to act will be Joe Hashem. He checks. Steve Danneman. Reaching for chips, throws out 150,000.
Danneman loves to talk about how this whole tournament feels like a free roll to him. He's just having a great time.
Hashem now with 1,000,000 chips back to Danneman.
Well, that'll put a stop to a great time in a hurry.
Wow, amateur Danneman probably does not see that kind of bet at his home games.
All in.
And Danneman pushes back, all in. It's 3.75 million chips to Hashem, making the pot right now almost 5 million chips.
Hashem's bet was a semi-bluff. He was hoping to push Danneman out. Now he's got to decide whether Danneman has a big hand.
You're staring me down. You got nothing.
Excuse me?
You're staring me down as if you got nothing. Huh?
Everything else is extra credit from here for me, buddy.
Sorry?
Everything now is extra credit for me. I got past the first day.
All in, huh?
I'm just having fun.
So am I.
Yeah, but Danneman's having fun with the better hand here, and he knows it. You know, Steve, Danneman may look and act goofy, but he is one coy boy.
We've seen that from day one.
You hit a sit on me, did you?
Excuse me?
Did you hit a sit there? Not sure? Check your cards again.
Check them again.
What a guy.
How can you not love this guy?
To call this and lose the hand would mean Hashem would be left with only a few 100,000 chips.
Take your time. Think about it.
Thank you. Appreciate your
Let me put the glasses on. Will that help?
Now, these guys would make good roommates.
All right, I'll take them all. Get a better read that way.
Who can read this guy anyway?
How you doing, Phil?
I was doing all right when the day started.
Now he's making small talk with Phil Ivey. Danneman's doing like everything you're not supposed to do in a hand.
What is your name?
Joseph. Joe.
Joe?
See, an international bond is being formed. This will be an ABC sitcom by next year.
But I'll tell you this, Joe.
I'll leave it till another time.
Hashem
Joe, I
folds.
have not been behind on a hand. I've not given a bad beat to anyone. What do you think I have, Joe?
Nice hand. Whatever you have, nice hand.
Would you like to see it?
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice hand.
We're still friends, right?
Always friends, man.
Steve Danneman still having fun in this main event. And now he's got a lot more chips to have fun with.
The 2005 World Series of Poker is presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, brewed for a man's taste, Miller Brewing Company, and in part by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward. And Harris Entertainment, home of the world's richest poker tournament.
We're now down to our final 20 players with the elimination of Joe Connor in 23rd place.
I had projected him to finish 28th at the start of this event.
Tommy Boo went out in 22nd position.
I had him finish in the top 20.
Bryant King in 21st.
I didn't even think he was playing.
Only two more players to go. We'll be playing down to our final two tables. One player still going strong is our only remaining female, Tiffany Williamson. Tiffany's feat here equals some of the greatest runs by women at the main event, including Annie Duke's 10th place finish in 2000 and Barbara Enright, 5th place in 1995. Joseph Hashem looks at ace 6 of clubs. Says raise.
Hashem with a 10th place finish in a no-limit hold'em tournament earlier in this year's World Series.
Hashem throws out 120,000 chips over to Andrew Black with queens. Been his favorite card today. Knocked Tim Fan out with a couple of queens on the turn and river. He is the chip leader at this table with about 5.5 million.
400 mark.
And he's going to raise it 400,000 more. Scott Lazar has joined our featured table. He will fold. Steve Danneman now. Hope he washes that shirt between sessions. He folds as well. Now over to Phil Ivey. I would love to see this guy play, but 9-7 folds again.
Well, he might be frustrated not getting more involved. Then again, it might be his intent. He might be just sitting around and letting the inexperienced players just do crazy things to each other.
It's a 400,000 chip raise to Hashem, and he makes the call. So Black and Hashem to the flop. Black's pocket queens with a 2-to-1 advantage. Now the flop is queen 7-9. 3 queens for Black, but Hashem flops the nut flush.
Oh, bumper cars are gonna go bump right now.
Hashem first to act now. He checks.
All in.
Uh-oh.
Call.
Here we go.
Pass the sugar.
Oh, don't pass the sugar yet. Joseph Hashem had not seen Black's hand yet. Hashem all in with the nut flush, but he's not out of danger.
Biggest pot yet, $6.5 million.
No pair.
Hashem doesn't want to see the board to pair at all.
No pair.
Black seems a little stunned behind those sunglasses, but he can take a big chip lead in this tournament if that board pairs.
Either way.
Black right now a 3-to-1 dog going to the turn. Turn card is a 10, no help to Black.
Andrew Black looking to pair the board. If the board pairs,
No pair.
Andrew Black will have a big chip lead, and Joe Hashem will be eliminated.
I can't look, man.
Hashem on the sidelines. It's a king. Hashem wins the hand with a flush. Huge pot that was for Joseph Hashem from Australia. Where's the luck of the Irish when you need it?
That's him.
Ton of money on the line. It's nice to see how these two players are such gentlemen at the table. On the other hand, we've got the outer table, where it seems like a bar fight could break out at any time.
It's promoter Don King's mantra. Every good match deserves a rematch. Mike Matusow and Shawn Sheikhan going at it again. Shawn is all in with his pocket kings. Matusow to act.
And he calls with ace-jack. You just get the feeling today that Mike Matusow would give 5 years off the back end of his life just to knock out Sheikhan.
Sheikhan starting the day with about 275,000 chips. He's all in for his final 800,000, trying to double up once again through Mike Matusow. Sheikhan with a 3-to-1 advantage going to the flop.
And we have a flop.
6-8-5. Sheikhan's king survived the flop.
Matusow still looking for an ace or runner jack.
Double up.
Now the turn card is a 6 of clubs. Matusow about to send a ton of chips to the one guy he does not want to have.
Come on, shoot!
Mike the Mouth now looking for only an ace. With an ace, he can knock out the Sheik.
Shawn Sheikhan doubles up again. Matusow was not happy about it.
And over again to Phil Gordon, who's Dr. Phil today.
Yes, indeed. So Shawn Sheikhan, he looked to be in danger early on, and now looking a lot stronger with about 2 million chips. Back now to our featured table. 2 more players to go down before this session ends. Here is Aaron Cantor with pocket kings.
One of the many online qualifiers for this World Series main event.
He won $25,000 in an online tournament just a couple of weeks ago. Ihan Alsenjak now. 8 and 9 of hearts. He's got a 200,000 chip raise in front of him from Cantor. Alsenjak will make the call. Or to Phil Ivey, who's been a spectator for a lot of this featured table.
I'm all in.
But not now. We're not sure of his hole cards, but he's all in with them.
Boy, and Ivey, one of the tournament favorites, my pick to win. Unless he's got pocket aces right now, Lon, he could be a short timer.
I'm all in.
And now Cantor moves all in with his kings. He's got Ivey covered. And Alsenjak, no thanks, gets out of the way. Ivey turns over pocket jacks, and he's in a world of hurt, and it's Ivey that's all in.
And he's waiting to see Cantor's cards, and he doesn't like what he sees. Phil has laid low since mixing it up early, and he's picked the wrong moment to get in knee deep.
Maybe Ivey showing some frustration. We've seen a lot of his hole cards. Hasn't had a lot to play with. He got a big pocket pair. Now he's all in. It's King 4 and a set of kings for Cantor now.
I can't fault Phil Ivey for going all in with those jacks. This has got to be devastating to him. Ivey had the chips, he had the confidence, he had the feeling he was going to win it all today. It doesn't look good now.
Cantor hurt Raymer. Now a chance to pick off Ivey. Turn card. 10 of diamonds. Ivey gets a little help.
A glimmer of hope for Phil Ivey. Aaron Cantor still in the driver's seat with 3 kings. But 10th in 2003, and now his third top 25 finish in the last 4 years.
It has been a rough year for Mike personally and professionally, but he stayed focused here at this main event, even when clashing with Shawn Sheikhan, known as Shawn or Sheik.
It's fun. It's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, you know, for me, I'm from Virginia, a little place called Spotsylvania, so the paper's calling, the radio stations are calling.
That's Michael Kessler.
I just made the 11 o'clock news. First story. Guy starts playing poker 2 months ago. It's in the World Series.
There's Steve Danenman.
It's the only thing you dream about, but you don't believe you could ever win it nowadays. It's so big, you know? 4 years ago, I believed I could win it.
Mike, you're not that special, bro. Quit
I'm
spicing
just saying
yourself up
how
like
fortunate I've been, you idiot.
You keep calling me that, Mike. I'm gonna snap on you one of these days. I
You
swear
want
to
me
God.
to just call you what you are, a bad poker playing idiot?
There's no need for this, Mike.
This is the new Mike, same as the old Mike.
You can kiss my you-know-what.
The main event within the main event. Sheikhan and Matusow back at it again. At the outer table, we have some poker fireworks taking place. Joseph Hashem holding ace-10, involved in a hand with John McGrain, who's all in with ace-9. To the flop, it's King Jack 5, a couple of clubs, nobody pairs up, but Hashem does get a straight draw and has the lead.
McGrain has dominated. His best hope is for the board to pair, and then he's got a lot of chances to split this pot. And the board does pair. There's an overwhelming chance this is going to be a split pot. McGrain wants to avoid a queen or 10 on the river, or he will go home.
And now the river card. Oh, it is the queen. Hashem gets the long shot card on the river. Gets the straight. And John McGrain has been eliminated in 18th place with $350,000. Hashem, the Lebanese prince, one of Aussie's, much to the delight of his mates.
You know, that tune really doesn't have a bad beat.
Back now to our featured table. Mike Matusow will fold. Oscar Silo gives it up as well. Over to Michael Kessler, the World Series of Poker rookie. On the Milwaukee's Best Light Pocket Cam, Kessler, ace-king.
I don't know if there's anyone here having more fun, Lon, than Michael Kessler. Maybe Steve Danenman.
The blinds are at 30 and 60,000. Kessler makes a raise to 180,000.
On day one, Kessler was down to his last 975 in chips, went all in with pocket 10s, and now just a few steps away from $1 million payoff.
Danneman folds. Action over to Scott Lazar from Studio City, California. Poker pro, magician, film production executive.
I raise.
He says raise with pocket queens. There's the call.
I think it's 600,000 more.
And it's 600,000 more from Lazar. Daniel Bergsdorf says that's too rich for my cards. Action on Kessler now.
Yeah, and Michael Kessler seems a bit more taxed at the moment. It's a lot of chips, and he doesn't have a lot left.
Takes a look over at his son Stuart, sending good vibes to his dad. The likable Kessler. Been fun to watch.
All in.
And here he goes. He's going to risk everything with his ace-king.
Call.
And Scott Lazar makes the call. Michael Kessler's tournament life now on the line.
Kessler pushes in his final 1.1 million.
Thanks, man.
Pretty much a coin flip. Kessler going up against Lazar's queens.
It's up to the poker gods now.
Hey, Scott, good luck.
Oh, the good sport he is. Kessler comes around to wish Lazar well. So now Lazar and Kessler will watch the flop.
I need some luck, baby.
If Kessler gets no luck, Lazar wins the hand. He'll have about 4 million chips.
I would really like to play for a little while longer.
Kessler's been a joy here at the main event. Now the flop. 10-4, Jack. Lazar keeps his lead.
Now I'll take a queen.
Kessler has picked up a straight draw. A queen would give him a straight. Lazar, of course, has pocket queens.
Now the turn card is another 10.
No queen now.
Another queen would give Lazar now a full house.
Ready to go home?
No!
More. You got more?
Not yet, Mike. Michael Kessler's not ready to go home, but he needs an ace or a king or he will go home.
And it is a 10. Kessler is going home.
Hey, it's been a pleasure. It's been a lot of
Scott
fun.
Lazar closes it out with a full house and knocks out the affable Michael Kessler.
Hey, thank you very much. Thanks.
17th place,
Thanks very much.
$350,000. Just some squares in the World Series of Poker.
Good luck, buddy.
And he's emblematic of a new player here. With little experience, can get really deep and have a great time.
What a terrific ride in his first World Series.
Good job, baby. What a run, man.
A great example for next year's World Series rookies.
I tell you what we do now. We go party like rock stars.
Let's go, man. We're going to party like rock stars now.
Why Las Vegas?
The 2005 World Series of Poker is presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, brewed for a man's taste. Miller Brewing Company, and in part by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward. New degree for men with twice the protection you need. It won't let you down. And Arizona Tournament, home of the world's richest poker tournament. The World Series of Poker presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Main Event.
We are down to 16 players here at Binion's and still one woman remaining in the field. Tiffany Williamson continuing her incredible run. She is short stacked right now on the outer tables. The London attorney decides now is not the time to play. She folds over to Aaron Cantor. You may remember him knocking off Phil Ivey, crushing Greg Raymer. He puts out a bet of 250,000 chips to Johnny Howard. Johnny Howard now moves all in with pocket queens.
700,000.
And it's a 700,000 chip raise to Cantor, who calls with ace-10.
So Johnny Howard's tournament life at stake. Howard, a drywall contractor from Maryland, another first-timer here at the World Series.
Howard, a 3-1 advantage now going to the flop. Aaron Cantor, a chip leader. And now the flop. 7, king, jack, couple of diamonds. Howard still leads with his queens.
Aaron Cantor does pick up a straight draw. He needs a queen. And of course, as you mentioned, Howard already has 2 of them.
Johnny Howard's tournament life on the line. And now the turned card. And now Cantor with a pair of 10s.
Howard still in terrific shape. Cantor, however, can knock him out with a river 10 or a queen would make him a straight.
Howard in good shape, though, going to the river to stay alive. And now the river card. It's a queen. Straight at the worst possible time for Johnny Howard. Howard gone in 16th place. How do you beat Aaron Cantor? What a luck he's had.
Lucky man.
Aaron's down. Mitchell and his fiancée, Jimmy Pedroza, cheering on 8K as they go. Unbelievable.
Our improbable chip leader continues his improbable way.
God, none of you guys could outplay me, and you guys here with all the chips.
Sheik's at it again.
Not a single one of you guys could play poker. Sad to say.
Will you teach me?
I'm trying to learn. That's why I kind of got into the tournament.
The Sheik, the Mouth, and the Buddhist. Something's wrong with that picture.
Mike Matusow looks at 5-4 offsuit.
I raise.
He's raising?
What a journey it's been for Matusow of late. In jail on drug charges for 6 months. Now trying to make the main event final table for the second time in 5 years.
And raising to 180,000 with 5-4 offsuit. And the Sheik will make the call with ace-king. Andrew Black will fold. So Matusow and Sheikhan continuing their ugly tango here at the main event. Now the flop. 6-4-6. Matusow gets another 4. He's got 2 pair now.
That's why you play those little rags and hope you get a piece of the flop, and no one else will.
Sheik got nothing, and he checks. Matusow bets 170,000 with his pair of 4s.
Sheik gives him the little stare. You know, Sheik might call this, Lon. He might put Matusow on the same type of hand he's got, a couple of high cards, and thinks that Matusow might be trying to move him off his hand. Plus, you know he wants to beat him every day and twice on Sunday.
A lot of disrespectful history between these two in the main event. They give their left arm to have an opportunity to knock the other one out.
Well, they'd still have their right arm to bet a lot of chips, and they'd still be trash talking.
Oh, but Sheikhan gives it up. Matusow with his 4s wins the pot.
I had the best hand. I had the best hand, Mike.
I just outplay you every hand because you an idiot.
100% I had the best hand.
100% doesn't mean what it used to mean. 100% he didn't have the best hand.
If we ever get dealt anything, maybe I got a shot.
Well, considering all the bad cards he has been dealt, and he's got a great chip stack, I guess Matusow does have a good shot at the bracelet. Meanwhile, at the outer table, our last woman left in the field, Tiffany Williamson, is all in and has been called by Tex Barch. Williamson with pocket 5s against the Jack 8. Tiffany putting everything she's got on a small pair of fives.
Like Michael Kessler, Tiffany almost went out on day one also.
The flop is 7-9-9. Tiffany Williams, since fives are still best.
Barch has picked up a gut shot straight draw against Tiffany.
Barch with a chance to knock off the last woman left in the main event. Now the turn card. It's a jack. Barch pairs his jack.
Oh, and there's a blow for Tiffany. She sits back down and she knows she's going to have to get up and get out of here unless she gets a 5 on the river. Only a 5 will keep Tiffany Williamson alive in this main event.
And now the river card is a king, and that means the end of a thrilling road for Tiffany Williamson. Tex Barch eliminates the last woman standing in 15th place.
And almost every player who goes out here gets a pep talk, words of encouragement from Bernard Lake. Tiffany with one of the best finishes ever for a woman in the main event, and with the size of this field, maybe the most impressive.
She overcame over 5,600 players and gets a standing O from the room.
Look, someone taught the Sheik how to clap.
Even he appreciates the accomplishments of Tiffany Williamson here in the 2005 main event. We are getting closer to identifying our new poker millionaires. The 9 players who make the final table will earn at least $1 million. Average chip count just over 4 million. Matusow with just over 5 million right now.
I raise.
He's going to raise it with Jack 9 of hearts to 180,000. Alson-Jacques folds, so does Daneman. Over to Shawn Sheikhan with Ace King.
I raise.
A re-raise from Sheikhan.
The Sheik will take his time. I never know what they're thinking. Sometimes they're calculating pot odds, maybe pork belly futures, maybe taking a look at the greenhouse effect in their head, but they like to think it out before they make a decision.
He has thought it out and thought it out hard. He's going to risk almost half his stack with that Ace King at 600,000 now to Scott Lazar. He has Ace King also.
I call.
And you might even lay down this Ace King right now because Scott Lazar is going to be out of position the rest of the hand. Well, he's putting chips in. I will no longer talk.
He is going to make the call. Matusow, though, folds.
Mike, you still in there? No.
He's not still in there, but I guarantee you Matusow has a rooting interest.
Sheikhan and Lazar to the flop. And the flop comes 6-5-10. Both players sitting on their Ace King. Lazar will act first.
How about 700,000?
And that would be enough to put Shawn Sheikhan all in, 700,000.
And that's a great bet, Lon. Lazar's out of position, but he has seized control of the hand. He knows that Sheikhan would have to go all in. Chances are Sheikhan missed this flop as well. Chances are Sheikhan can't call this big raise. It would be for all his chips.
And Shawn Sheikhan does give it up. A bold bet by Scott Lazar pays off.
I'm not sure what goes through the Sheik's head right now. I'm not sure I want to know.
Lazar's been the mover and shaker today, doubling his chips. He made Sheikhan think he had the better hand that time, but the art of illusion is nothing new to Scott Lazar.
For about the last 13 years, I made my living as a professional magician.
Doing my job.
I've done parties for Liza Minnelli, Randy Newman, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Brooke Shields, Denzel Washington, Pete Rose. The list is long. One of the reasons why I didn't go as far as a magician was poker.
Gamble, gamble.
I had more of a passion for poker than I did for magic.
That's real emotion there, guys. That is not some guy standing on a chair yelling, look at me, look at me.
In order to take a trick and turn it into magic,
wow,
you have to take people's mind down a path and leave it there. So I try to look at everything that I do and everything a player does, and I'm trying to create the illusion that I've got the best hand. So yeah, a lot carries over.
Nelson Algren once wrote, never play cards with a man named Doc. I say, never play cards with anybody who deals in magic. Trust me, Lon.
At the outer tables, our chip leader, Aaron Cantor, at it again, grabbing the limelight, holding pocket queens. Cantor raised enough to put Oscar Silo all in.
Okay.
And Silo says, okay, let's go with his ace-10. He's all in. And now Silo discovers he's got a lot of ground to make up to Aaron Cantor.
Come on, leader. You can do it. Give me an ace. Give me an ace today.
Cantor looking for another notch in his belt. and in good position to take Silo out.
Cantor about a 3-1 advantage. To the flop, it's got a queen. Cantor with a set of queens. He's unstoppable.
If he doesn't get you on the river, he gets you on the flop. If he doesn't get you on the flop, he gets you on the river. And now Silo's going to need running hearts or running straight cards to stay alive.
It's a 5 of diamonds, and Cantor wins the hand. Silo drawing dead to the river, eliminated in 14th position.
And see, there's Bernie Lee. Always give you your last rights with a gentle touch.
Cantor congratulates his latest victim. Oscar Silo takes home $400,000 from the main event. With the chip leader at the beginning of the day, Aaron Cantor adds to his stack.
Why are you turning red when
You're going to get me off my game, buddy. You have, like, severe gentlemen. issues.
Soap opera continues.
Yeah, you're it.
So bad.
You need to not worry so much about me and worry about your chip stack. That doesn't look like there ain't much there.
Ooh, that got him.
That's some first-class banter.
Mike Matusow, actually the only bracelet winner left in this 2005 main event. Shawn Sheikhan with ace-7 of hearts.
I'm all in.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You know, the mouth is aching to take out the Sheik. He might come into the hand even if he doesn't have any hole cards.
Now Matusow checks those hole cards. A 5 and an ace. We've seen him play worse.
Oh, sure.
I want to bust you so bad.
But he folds.
I really do.
Come with it, Sonny boy.
Oh, don't worry. When I come with it, you'll be broke.
He wants to bust him, but he's also tired of doubling the Sheik up.
Now it's $530,000 to the rest of the table. Over to Steve Dannenman.
Yet another ace and another weak ace.
Don't be scared. You double me up.
You're a nice guy.
I am.
You guys are all nice.
I hate everyone, but I like you.
There's a ringing endorsement for Steve Dannenman.
Does Dannenman want to take a flyer with his ace-deuce? No.
You have it?
I had the other one. I had the other red one.
What was the other one?
2.
There's no point showing you that.
Sheikhan's bet clears the table.
I got it. Don't trip. My tournament. They can't fade me. These guys can't fade me, and these players for damn sure can't fade me. They've been trying to bar me, throw me out, penalize me. They've done everything to me. This seems to be a defective tournament.
You seem to be a defective human.
More first-class banter.
All right, let's go out to our other table now. Bernard Lee has a pair of kings after the flop. Aaron Cantor once again involved in his hand with a pair of 6s.
Bernard Lee says he's had a great draw here in the first few days of the main event. No monster players at his table, just a bunch of guys named Joe.
Both cheering sections very nervous for their chargers, and Bernard Lee moves all in the lead with his pair of kings. Aaron Cantor to act.
Bernard Lee happy to be here just before the World Series. His wife had surgery. He was going to stay with her. His wife insisted that he come to the World Series to play.
Bernard Lee's lucky charm, the picture of his kids Noah and Maya, and Cantor now has made the call of Bernard Lee's all in.
And Bernard Lee sees he's in good shape, more than a 3-1 favorite as we go to the turn.
But nobody's in good shape against Aaron Cantor. Here we go to the turn. It is a check. Lee's kings still rule.
Lee in better position now. Aaron Cantor, though, still can knock out Bernard Lee with a queen or 6 on the river.
Bernard thought that turn was a king. He's got a chance to double up through our chip leader. Now the river card. Oh, a 6! Yeah! Aaron Cantor with another miracle card on the river knocks out Bernard Lee.
Doesn't Aaron Cantor need a license to bag as many players as he has?
Bernard Lee goes out to 13th. His father, June Lee, very happy to see what his son has accomplished. But Cantor does it again, sending Bernie Lee to the winner.
You know what? I'm not upset. Today's coming home. Little extra cash, too. Today's coming home. And that's the reason why I'm here. So, thank you.
Welcome back to downtown Las Vegas and Binion's. We're getting closer to our final 9 players, each of whom will earn $1 million. Aaron Cantor, our chip leader, nearing $10 million.
He's just a kid with a dream.
Second place, Andrew Black, 6.7.
He's a Buddhist with a dream.
Joseph Hashem from Australia, also 6.7 million.
He's a former chiropractor with a dream.
And in fourth place, Tex Barch, $5.5 million.
How come he's not wearing sunglasses? All the other chip leaders are.
Well, let's look at the bottom half of the field. Right now, the short stack in the room is Shawn Sheikhan, just over 500,000 chips. All right, back to our featured table. One of the shorter stacks is Ihan Alsenjak from Gothenburg, Sweden. He is a professional poker player, but he will not play this hand. Over to Steve Danneman from Maryland, a CPA and mortgage broker with pocket queens. Danneman's only here because his friend Jerry Ditzel paid half the entrance fee in exchange for half of what Steve wins. Danneman says he's going to raise it, $250.
Sheiky, you still got chips?
Shawn's got chips, but he throws in his cards.
He is a lovable guy.
Mike, don't try to be my friend. It's too late. I'm going to serve you what you deserve eventually. Promise.
The rest of your chips?
More highbrow humor. Over to Daniel Bergsdorf, another Swedish player. 3 Swedes in the top 14. Norman, they must play a lot of poker up there.
It's dark half the year.
Bergsdorf calls the raise with his king-jack of diamonds. So Bergsdorf and Danneman to the flop. Danneman with the lead. It's 3-3 king, and Bergsdorf pairs his king and takes the lead. He checks.
He checks. I would have bet. Maybe he's check raising.
Steve Danneman now.
I would have bet. Maybe he's check raising.
Danneman wants to bet, loves to bet, comes with 400,000.
Danneman thinks his queens are good.
Steve Danneman not worried about the king on the board, but Steve Danneman's not worried about much of anything. Bergsdorf makes the call.
I thought he might check raise there, but he's just made the call.
Once again, that's why you were sitting here and not out there at the table. Turn card is an ace. Bergsdorf's kings are still good.
Wow.
Check.
A check again.
Danneman will waste no time. He wasn't worried about the king. He's not going to be worried about the ace.
600,000 now from Danneman.
Bergsdorf might be worried about the ace. And these guys are going to take time here today. The last person who gets knocked out today will make 600,000. That's a lot of money. But if you make it to the final table, that's $1 million. That's 400,000 real money. It's a big difference.
And Bergsdorf gives it up. Despite being a 19-1 underdog there, Steve Danneman won the hand. He's got some sort of mojo going for him. It just may be that shirt that he insists on wearing every day in this main event.
I don't want to change the shirt. No rashes, and maybe it's an advantage against the players that sit next to me. I'm kind of superstitious. In the morning, my wife, Anita, walks me to catch a cab to go to the World Series. As soon as I get in the cab, I tell the guy the exact route that we want to take. And then I make him wish me luck before I leave the cab. I never play the very first hand of each level. And I call my mom and my wife right after every level. I survived. I pop them for 30. I got a hand coming, it could be aces. We're in the money. I'm a contender. Where's my fan club? The last superstitious thing is, the first day my wife didn't show. I said, well, you can't go tomorrow because you didn't go the first day. And so it's been pretty much like that. But since it's been moved to Binion's, it's a whole different story. There's no superstitious thing there, so you can go to Binion's.
On their final day at the Rio, Steve told Anita she could go out shopping and spend up to $5,000. She only spent $300. She said everything was too expensive.
Who's got a fan up in here? I'll give him a couple percent.
Don't worry, you ain't gonna be here much longer.
Geez, the mouth should travel with this crowd.
Well, this personality contest here at Binion's. Matusow's winning hands down against Sheikhan. Shawn Sheikhan, pocket cards of ace jack offsuit. Under 500,000 chips, and they all go in the pot.
And Matusow is aching.
Matusow, a king, queen offsuit.
Come see Daddy, Mikey.
So how much more?
Boy, the Sheik baiting him. I don't know if the Sheik wants him to come in. It's not like the Sheik has a big pocket pair.
Mike's in the big blind, so he's already committed some chips to the pot, 80,000.
You want action?
Here we go. Sheikhan leads with his ace-jack to Matusow's king-queen. This is our Dupree all-in moment.
And the mouth is disappointed when he sees what it is. He was hoping that the Sheik maybe had a pocket pair and it'd be a coin flip. but he does have 2 live cards against his rival, and he is just aching to knock him out.
Here's our flop now. 4-10. Ivey Sheikhan grabs the lead with a pair of aces.
Sheikhan stands up and sits right back down as he takes a look and sees that Matusow has picked up a straight draw. A jack would make the mouth a straight.
Killing Matusow. He might double up the Sheik again.
Don't make 2 pair. That would
You know, if these 2 played heads up in an alley, I think they draw a crowd.
Now the turn card. Matusow pairs his queen.
No, I don't want to make 2 pair.
Yeah, a king would
You gotta
make
get
the
what you
Sheik a
deserve.
straight. Matusow can still get his man. The mouth with a queen or jack on the river would knock out Sheikhan.
And now the river card is a king. Sheikhan earns the degree check mark with the street. Doubles up again.
You got what you asked for, baby boy. What happened there? You got what you deserve, sucker.
Boy, the mouth is dry for once.
And Matusow cannot get rid of the Sheik. He's now back over 1 million chips in this main event.
The All In Moment is brought to you by New Degree for Men. For men who take risks, it won't let you down. The Toyota Points Leader is brought to you by Toyota. Choose any direction, as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward.
As we look at our Toyota Player of the Year standings, with the elimination of Phil Ivey, Alan Cunningham has clinched the top spot. Congratulations. But there are 3 players left in the main event who could crack the top 10. Joseph Hashem, Andrew Black, and Mike Matusow.
Hello, Sheiky. Everything all right over there?
What's up, loudmouth? How you doing?
Don't blow all my chips, please.
Wow, that was almost civil.
These 2 guys should go on the road with the Actalon, maybe play in front of gas stations and chain gangs.
Well, Pocket Kings, Matusow's been saying if he ever got dealt anything, he'd be dangerous. Here's his chance.
And to Matusow's credit, he's had a week's worth of bad hands and hasn't had a lot of big offerings to play, and he's still here.
He raises it to 220,000. Sheik gets out of the way. Over to Scott Lazar. Got a queen and a jack of clubs. He makes the call quickly. Daniel Bergsdorf folds. So it will be Matusow and Lazar to the flop. Matusow leads with his kings. The flop is jack 3-6. Lazar pairs his jack, but Matusow's kings still lead.
Lazar will be first to act. He has top pair on the board, but he'll check it.
Matusow bets 300,000.
I call.
And Lazar makes the call with his jacks. 2 of the bigger chip stacks now clashing. This could be interesting. Lazar needs some help, though. Here's the turn. It's an 8. That is no help to Lazar.
Lazar first to act.
And Lazar stabs at it with 400,000.
Well, again, he's got the top pair on the board. He might think it's good.
I raise.
Matusow says he's going to raise it up. Let's find out how much.
1 million.
1 million more to Scott Lazar. There's a message for you.
And that's the 3rd time the mouth has bet at this pot. Matusow has the best hand, and let's see if Scott Lazar can make the proper read here.
Nice hand, Mike.
He does give it up.
And Matusow showing him some respect and courtesy and showing the kings.
He's showing everybody the kings. Including his mom and brother.
And Matusow sending out a message that I'm just going to play very, very tight, and he hopes the other players think that, and then down the road, he might try a big bluff.
Yeah. How do I get dealt 2 kings? That's unbelievable.
Matusow on a mission to win this main event here in 2005. Meanwhile, on the outer table, Andrew Black also has pocket kings. He's leading Connor Tate, who's all in for his last 2 million. His ace-high trails as we go to the river. River card is another deuce. Andrew Black wins the hand and eliminates Connor Tate in 12th place.
Black, the Buddhist, also a charity worker, and I will say this, Andrew Black truly seems conflicted when he knocks someone out.
After that big pot, Andrew Black approaching 10 million chips. The chip average right now in the room is just over 5 million.
When we lose 1 more player, the final 10 remaining will gather at a single table, and when we knock out one of those, we'll be down to our final 9 millionaires at the final table.
Mike Matusow, ace, queen of clubs. Something to play with again. He raises to 220,000. Dannenman gets out of the way. Over to Shawn Sheikhan. Got a 7 and an ace offsuit. And he throws in the rest of his chips, 360,000 with a raise.
Stares over at the man who wants to be his maker.
Scott Lazar, though, was next to act.
Lazar in the big blind.
I'll call it 2.
He wants to play.
You got to call 360.
Yeah.
Well, Lazar likes the price. Hopes he gets lucky on the flop, hitting a queen or maybe a diamond.
Well, there's a raise to Matusow. There's no way he's going to get out of this hand, so it'll be Matusow, Sheikhan, and Lazar with Sheikhan's tournament life at stake. Mike Matusow's been looking for this opportunity for a long time to knock out the Sheik. 3, Jack King, nobody pairs. Matusow gets a club draw, though.
Matusow picks up a straight draw also. And what often happens in a situation when you have a couple of players in against an all-in guy, there's an unspoken conspiracy. If neither one has a hand, they'll just check it out as they have to give them a better chance of knocking out the all-in guy.
Lazar did check. Matusow checks. Now the turn card. Deuce of clubs. Matusow now with the nut flush.
There'll be no more checking from the mouth. He knows he has the nuts.
Lazar is drawing dead. The Sheik is too, but doesn't know it. Lazar checks. Matusow bets 400,000.
Nice hand.
Lazar folds,
Nuts.
and Matusow has his man.
Nice hand.
Nuts!
He's taking down the Sheik. Finally.
Well, you can win with grace, or you can win this way.
After numerous intense rounds of action between these two, Mike Matusow delivers the satisfying knockout.
You know I would never bet.
Sheikhan. He goes out in 11th place and wins $600,000.
Sheikhan actually played pretty darn well. Don't know how many friends he made.
The Sheik flirted with elimination for a long time. He certainly didn't want to get knocked out of the main event, and certainly not by that man, Mike Matusow.
Yeah, he's lasted way too long.
Matusow in great chip position now, stacking the chips formerly owned by his arch-rival Shawn Sheikhan.
Well, the Sheik must move on to the next stage of his life.
Am I done?
Or he can just go back to the tattoo parlor that he owns.
Shawn Sheikhan making his exit from Binions. He's certainly made an impression on all those who witness his play here.
The World Series of Poker presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. The main event.
One more player to be eliminated here at the main event, and we will have our final table combatants. Andrew Black right now is our chip leader. Ihan Alsenjak is the short stack with 1.3 million.
And with one more player eliminated, everybody makes $1 million, Lon. In my long and distinguished card-playing career, I have never won $1 million playing poker.
Alsenjak has already improved on last year's finish. Brad Kondracki might be a target of some big stacks. He's only got 1.5 million. Mike Matusow in third place, 7.6 million. And it's full steam ahead for his first main event bracelet. Matusow raises it up with 10-9 offsuit. Aaron Cantor gets out of the way. How aggressively do these guys want to play? One player to go out before we have our final 9.
Oh, usually the short stacks sit back and just hope somebody else goes out before them.
Scott Lazar, ace-10 of clubs.
How much is that?
Lazar says, okay, I'll get in the pool. Andrew Black, our chip leader, tries to see his cards over those chip stacks. King Jack offsuit, and he makes the call. Over to Tex Barch, and yes, he is from Texas, McKinney, Texas. Pocket jacks.
With pocket jacks, you usually want to try to thin the field.
Will $1 million chips do that, you think?
Somebody's going to be leaving this hand.
Alsenjak folds, Matusow folds. Lazar's been pretty bold with his chips, but not here. Now on Andrew Black, the chip leader.
Well, this is the one guy Barch doesn't want to see stay in the hand, the chip leader. Obviously, the chip leader in any hand might eventually bust you.
Tex Barch has put 1 million chips into the pot.
Come on, man. You know you ain't calling. Let's go.
I'm not calling, I'm raising or nothing.
All right, well, do one of the two. I think I got you dominated.
Tex Barch gives him a little accurate information.
All in.
Andrew Black is going to push.
Wow. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He said all in?
Well, that would put Tex Barch all in.
Well, let's see if Tex wants to put his money where his mouth is. He said he thought he had Black dominated, and for the courage of his convictions, it would cost him all of his chips. There's only 3 hands that beat him, but he's up against a chip leader. If he's beat here, he's out of here.
Call.
Wow, and Barch is going to make the call.
Oh, my.
Oh, my, indeed.
What was he thinking?
What was he thinking? You know, Black could actually coast to the final table from here. He's putting a lot of his chips at risk in trying to push Tex Barch out of this hand.
Anita Barch hoping she's not witnessing her son's last hand of the main event.
Good luck. You got some baby.
Thought he might have a smaller pair.
If that's the case, then Black was either trying to push Barch out of the hand, figuring he wouldn't risk all his chips with a smaller pair, or Black, with a lot of gamble in him, decided, I want to build a really huge chip stack for the final table, and I'll take a coin flip situation.
But Black could lose half his stack here. It's 4, ace, 3. Barch still leads with his jacks.
Black could lose half his stack. If Barch can double up, he would become the chip leader.
He's going to need any king. He's going to need a miracle.
Black wouldn't need a miracle at this point.
He seems to be enjoying it all.
It's a It was paint, but it was a
now
queen,
he got a tenor, king.
Well, he is close.
That wasn't a good card.
Barch awaits his fate. So Andrew Black, a gambling man if I've ever seen one, can still knock out Barch with a king, or a 10 would make him a straight.
River cards a 3. Tex Barch wins the biggest pot of the main event. What a gamble by both of these poker players.
Andy, he's my man. If he can't do it, no one can. What a sick human that was.
Gotta make it exciting for you guys.
You know, I used to think I was the sickest human in poker. You might be sicker. You are one sick, twisted human being.
I'm sorry, Matusow said, who's the sick, twisted human being?
Tex Barch stacking his 9.5 million chips.
That was crazy, man. Y'all some suicide missions here. You know, just because the Mike Matusow blow-up ain't happened yet don't mean we can't have the Andy Black blow-up.
Well, Tex Barch is the man of the hour at this table right now, our new chip leader.
Well, the chips just evened out a little bit.
We still need to knock out one more player. Maybe we can have a vote.
Well, that's actually how Johnny Moss won the first main event. It was a vote among all the players involved. So
in 1970.
That's right. Our blinds, did you see, 50 and 100,000.
Raise.
Scott Lazar says raise with his ace jack of hearts. And Lazar raises it up to 240,000. Andrew Black gets out of the way. Tex Barch folds over to Ihan Alsenjak. Pocket queens.
Pocket queens for the short stack. That's usually one move only. If you could do it correctly.
Messy as it is, all in with his final 840,000. And so now the tension gets ratcheted up.
That's my pot. I call.
Oh, wow.
You got aces, huh?
No, I don't have aces.
Wants it.
And Lazar seems to think he's going to get it.
Alsenjak in the lead with his queens.
It's going to be mine.
But Lazar's confident.
Felt it?
Yeah.
Alsenjak is all in, but he's got the lead with his pocket queens.
I think I'll sit down.
I don't know.
But everybody anticipating maybe this guy will get knocked out.
I already know what's coming.
I don't like to hear a magician say he already knows what's coming.
And the there he is! He knew what was coming!
See, somebody needs to check this deck. Like now.
Suddenly, Ihan Alsenjak in danger of missing his opportunity to go to the final table and earn $1 million. Turn card is another 7. Lazar that much closer to winning the hand.
Alsenjak down to perhaps his last card. He needs a queen and a queen only, or our final 9 are set.
Here's the river. Oh, the queen!
And he can't seem to believe it.
Look who pulled a rabbit out of his hat.
You didn't deserve to go home that way. You played way too good for that to happen.
Ihan Alsenjak is still with us, and we still have 10 players left.
And a reception line gathers to congratulate him on still being with the table.
It's okay. It's only a flesh wound.
Not even the last game. This is drama at its greatest.
For the record, for once I agree with the mouth.
Holy God, there is some craziness going on here tonight.
And plenty more to come from Binions, no doubt.
The 2005 World Series of Poker is presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, brewed for a man's taste, Miller Brewing Company, and in part by Levitra. Ask your doctor about it today. Levitra, when it counts. And Harris Entertainment, home of the world's richest poker tournaments.
Welcome back to Binions. We are still 10-handed, waiting for one more player to go down, and we'll have our final 9 millionaires of the 2005 main event.
If anybody raises my blind, I'm gonna re-raise them. So don't do it because I'm ready to play some poker.
Paul McCartney must not be able to sleep at night.
On the Milwaukee's Best Light pocket cam, Aaron Cantor with ace-10 of hearts.
Think about it.
He's putting out chips.
I want him to raise you.
And he raises it to 400,000. Now to Brad Kondracki.
It'll take a court order to get him into a hand right now on the brink of this final table, short stacked.
Steve Ganneman.
I'd play with you, Mike, but I just can't get anything.
No cards. Scott Lazar folds as well. Everybody a little gun shy now, 10-handed, Norman?
Indeed.
Ayhan Alsanjak with queens again.
Well, even though he's got more chips than he did last time, this is usually an all-in situation.
But he just makes the call.
I disagree with that. You don't want anybody to be hanging around in the hand, catching an ace or a king on you when you got those queens in this situation.
There's a lot of money in the pot just with the blinds and antes. Alsanjak with the lead, going to the flop with Cantor. The flop is 7-3-3, couple of hearts, but Alsanjak keeps his slim lead.
Cantor does pick up the nut flush draw.
Aaron Cantor, the giant killer, to raise now 600,000 on the draw. Ayhan Alsanjak now thinking maybe Norm was right. I should have gone all in earlier. And here he will go all in with pocket queens.
And an immediate call from Aaron Cantor. And hey, I know how this hand is going to finish. I've seen the movie. Everybody dies in the end except Aaron Cantor.
Nearly 4 million chips in the pot, and more importantly, all the chips of Ayhan Alsanjak are in there.
Alsanjak again on death watch, but ahead, trying to avoid an ace or a heart.
He avoided elimination in the previous hand, but he's never been against this guy going all in. Here's the turn, is a 10. Alsanjak keeps his lead.
Cantor picks up a little help there. I mean, this guy's had a better run than Steve Gutenberg in the 80s. Cantor can still knock out Alsanjak with an ace, 10, or heart on the river.
And now our river card. It means everything to Alsanjak. Oh, it's a heart! Again, Cantor does it! Alsanjak is gone! I'm officially renaming the river card the Cantor. Oh, and we are down to our final 9 millionaires at the main event 2005. Ayhan Alsanjak goes out in 10th place. Aaron Cantor doing the deed.
Everybody at the final table is a millionaire. Let's hear it for him.
And that's a million reasons to celebrate.
Hey, I was only joking. You're not half partner.
Final table, here we come. This main event began with a staggering field of over 5,600. Now only 9 remain. These men can call themselves millionaires, but who will walk away with a bracelet and the $7.5 million? Will it be the giant killer, Aaron Cantor? Or can Tex Martin take him down? Will Ireland Vandy Black get back on top?
Gotta make it exciting for you guys.
Or maybe Joseph Hashem can bring the bracelet down under with him?
That's my pot, I call.
Will it be a magical day for Scott Lazar? Or will Steve Daneman's superstitions pay off big time? Perhaps youth will prevail for Brad Kondracki or Daniel Bergsdorf.
Nuts!
Or can Mike the Mouth finally overcome his biggest obstacle? Himself and become world champion. Next time it's the final table from the main event.